welcome back to today's video. Today we will be making a badge holder. So this one here is the one I did for the video. So here's the back and there's the front. So just like that. I used a gift card just for example. See how easy it comes in and out. So this one I did long ways, or you can do it up and down. So just, it's your preference. So yeah. So let's get into today's video. Alrighty, so today we are going to be making a badge holder. So you can put your ID in here. So first you're going to want, if you would like it to be like this one here, two different colors. So you're going to have two different fat quarters. If you just wanted it to be one color, you can do it out of one fat quarter. So I'm doing these two little bee type patterns. You're going to need some fusible interfacing. So this one is, let's see, oh boy. This one is a fusible mid-weight interfacing. It is the Pellin 931TD. So this is the one that I use for just about everything that I need fusible interfacing for. And then we have our clear vinyl for this sleeve here. So it's clear vinyl. This one I got from Hobby Lobby. And I think it is just, it's like the plain Jane vinyl. I don't think it has anything fancy or anything. So fancy, something like that. It's just the general purpose vinyl. So I think I paid, I think it's either $6.99 or $7.99 a yard at Hobby Lobby. So that is where I found it, and for a decent price. It wasn't ridiculous. Then we have our patterns, which I'm going to put in the description. And this pattern also has pictures, so you can like kind of go along with it. So here is my back fabric, which goes along with this pattern here. So it's the same length. So I'm just going to put the fabric over on top of it. Then I have my interfacing, so I'm going to put that on top. My vinyl window, which is over there. My tab for this split ring. Just going to put that on top. This one here is our interfacing window. So there. And then we have our front frame. So in total you're going to have 6 pieces out of everything you cut. So if you don't have 6 pieces, you're missing something. So then you're going to also have a split ring. This one I believe is the 20mm split ring. You can get a package of, let's see, I think it's like 20 or 25 at Michael's for $3.99. So that is a good deal on those. And I'd say Michael's or Hobby Lobby is the best place to get those, just because they are the cheapest. Joann's, I found on a lot of their hardware has been really expensive. Let's just put it at that. So I'm going to move all these templates, and it tells you how much to cut from each. So it says cut 1 from fabric on the back piece. It's all cut 1 from either your interfacing or your fabric or your vinyl. So it's not, I'm missing something. Having to go back and figure out what I missed. Alrighty, let's get started. So, I'm going to lay everything back out. My vinyl there, tab there. Okay. Let's see. We're going to start with the tab. So I'm going to kind of move this over here. Alright. So what I'm going to do, let's kind of zoom it in a bit though. Alright, there we go. So here I have my tab fabric. Plug in my iron board. I have my tab fabric right here. So what I'm going to do, how we're going to press this here, so this is like this is a 2x2 inch square. For tabs, a lot of the time, that's the size that you're going to be doing. Now, how far you fold it in depends on the width of the tab. So, what I'm going to do is just kind of fold it in about 1/4 of an inch on this side. Same thing on the other side. Okay, so now we have both sides folded in. I'm going to fold it in half again and then press it. So I'm going to redo that again. So you need to fold it on one side about 1/4 of an inch so that it's kind of coming up 1/4 of the way. Fold the other side the same way. So it's kind of about the same width on each side. And then we're going to fold it in half and I'm going to press it. Alrighty, so we have our tab. So then here I'm going to come up close so you can see. So here, fold it in half, fold it, open it up again, and then it's each side. So you should have 3 creases on your fabric. So then when it folds back, it folds like that. So now then, we're going to come back over here and we're going to put that part aside for right now till we go to our sewing machine and then we'll sew it all together. That's a little close. Not the way I had it, I think. Alrighty, so now we're going to take our front frame, which is the bigger width frame piece, I guess. Put it that way. We're going to flip it over. Yeah. Hang on a minute, I feel like I'm... Okay, sorry. Frame interfacing on the back of the front frame. Okay. Wow, I thought I read that wrong. Okay, I'm gonna iron this real quick just so that it's kind of flat and a little easier to work with. Okay, iron both frame pieces. Alrighty. So, I'm just making sure I'm reading this right because it doesn't seem right, but I guess it makes sense. Alrighty, so here we have our front frame piece. I'm going to kind of zoom it in for y'all. Okay, we have our front frame piece. This is the back, so this is the front, this is the back. You're going to want it on the back side. You're going to take your frame interfacing, which is out of your same fabric, I believe. Cut one from fabric, yep. So put this face up on your like just like that. Kind of center it face up on your front frame. Alrighty. I don't know. I'm not sure why I'm thinking this has to be interfacing, but that's for the back piece. So then what you're going to do is kind of make this here. So you're going to take one corner, fold it over to where it meets the center edge, the center corner of your frame interfacing. And just kind of crease it there. So you know what, I'm going to take this over to the ironing board, and maybe because there's no interfacing in it, it may work a bit easier. Okay, there we go. So then I'm going to just kind of center it up and just iron it. Okay, I'm going to do that with all four corners. Okay, kind of just making it creased, creasing it. Alright, kind of go over all four of your corners again, just so that they actually stay down, which that one's not. Alright, let me get my pattern again. Alrighty, now I'm going to grab a pair of scissors, and then we're going to get on to the next step. Alright, I have a pair of fabric scissors. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make diagonal slits going from this inside corner here to where we folded it over to meet the inside of this interfacing for the frame. So kind of just go up to that, just like that. So that way you have a slit that kind of meets this interfacing. Okay. And we're going to just kind of move it so I can get this side. Alrighty, there we go. Now then, we're going to take the pieces that we just cut and kind of fold them over like this. So just kind of fold them over to where it meets, where your crease meets your inside frame piece. And you're going to iron that down. And you're going to repeat that on all four sides. Side 3. Okay, last one. There we go. So we're just going to kind of press it all down, make sure it's all even. There we go. So now then your front of it should look like this. So it's all kind of square in the center. Now we're going to take the outsides, the outside pieces that we have not folded over yet, fold those down to meet that folded edge where we just did going over. So we'll just start off this here, just like that, so that your raw edges are not completely touching the creased edge, but where it's still a straight line. I'm just going to kind of blow it off just a minute because it's a little hot. Alrighty, now I'm going to do this side. Steam is hot. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of go over them again. Careful, the steam for your iron is very hot. Alrighty, so in your front of the frame should look like this. So it's fully, not fully, but it's kind of squared. You can tell that at least has a shape. So now then, what we're going to do, alrighty, let's see. I'm like all over the place, I'm sorry. We're going to take and just kind of leave it folded over just like this. Take our front vinyl piece, see it? Our vinyl piece, we're going to lay it centered on the back of your frame piece. Hoping it all stays flat. Alright, so just like that, I'm going to grab some pins and we will clip, or clips, whatever. Clips work easiest on this step here. So I'm going to grab some clips and then we will bring it to the sewing machine and go from there. Alrighty, so we're gonna clip this to still where it's, keep it centered on your frame. I'm gonna clip the corners as well, just so it stays down and flat. Alright, so now then your front of it should look like this. It has the frame, the clear piece, and then it has this around it. So now then, when we go to the sewing machine, you're going to, where you just pinned it upside down, you're going to flip it over and you're going to sew it upside down. Now this I have learned from trial and error. I mean, granted, the lady did put in her post for this project that she did it upside down and it worked. And if you don't, then it wouldn't work. So I have learned on that one. This way it's gonna work. It's not gonna slide. It's not gonna pull every which direction. It's not gonna do any of that. So when we go to sew it, you're going to sew as close to this creased edge here as you can. So like probably I'd say about 1/8 of an inch. Close to that edge as possible. Or it's not going to catch your vinyl on the back and then you're going to have to redo it. You have to rip out the vinyl and redo it. So you don't want to have to redo it. Not if we can do it right in the first place. Because I had to do a couple of these just to get it down and right and not messed up. So let's go take this to the sewing machine, and at the same time we're going to sew our tab piece on each side about 1/8 of an inch going on each side. You don't have to do the short side, you don't have to worry about that. So I'm just going to kind of clip this and we will go over to the sewing machine. Alrighty, so we're going to start off with our tab piece. So I'm going to put it in the machine. I'm going to go 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to go forward a little bit along on the fabric, just because my machine wouldn't catch it otherwise. So you're going to sew 1/8 of an inch on each side. succeed like that. I went too far and it missed it. Please don't do what I'm doing. Don't move your fabric like that. Alrighty, so I know not to go that far now. Alrighty, let's do the other side. There we go, that one worked better. I'm gonna grab my scissors. Oh no. Don't mind me, I'm just drawing stuff over here. Alright. So you're going to cut your threads. And then we'll get to our next part. Alrighty. Now, this one is going to be a little more, this one's going to be a little trickier. So on this one, oh boy, let's zoom it out a bit. On this one here, we're going to sew on, we're going to start on this top edge about halfway, so you're not starting right at the crease. Sew 1/8 of an inch, back stitch as well. When you get to your corners, put your needle in your fabric, like all the way through, turn your fabric, and then keep going. Same when you get to all the corners, and then back stitch when you start and when you finish. So I'm going to kind of leave it zoomed out there. And you're going to, sorry I missed one. You're going to sew it with the creases facing up on your machine. So you don't want this side where you have all those raw edges. You want the front side. What would be considered the front side? So I'm going to start it about halfway, 1/8 of an inch, and we're gonna go. We'll go slowly though, because you don't want to go too fast and it stretch it and pull it. So go slow, which is very hard for me. See, it's kind of stopping. It's not. There we go. Okay, when you get to your corner, put your needle down, lift up your presser foot, turn it. Oh, and it got stuck. Turn it, and you're gonna put your presser foot back down, and you're gonna keep going. Go here, put your needle back down, lift up your presser foot, go again. Okay, put your needle back down, lift it up, and do this other wrong side. My threads out of the way. Alrighty, one last time. Alrighty. So when you lift it up, you're just going to make sure that it caught on all sides. So like here, my other flap piece didn't catch. That is perfectly okay. You don't have to stress over that because it's going to be hidden anyways, and it's going to be sewed closed. So you don't have to worry about that one. So I'm going to push this back, and we're going to cut our threads And then we'll go back to our workstation. Get on to the next step. Alrighty, so now we have finished sewing our front piece and our tab piece. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot a step. Well, I'll go do it real quick just on my own. For this front tab piece, you're going to pick a side that's going to be your top. So I think I'm going to do this side. I'm going to do this side here. So it's the opposite side of what I started on, but you don't have to pick that one. You can pick whatever short side you want it to be. Or if you want it to be a long side, you can pick a long side as well. Whichever side you pick, you're going to want to just sew along the top. Actually, I may do a long side. I haven't done a long side bachelor yet. So, you know, I'm switching it up. I'm going to do a seam along the top part, not the part that we just sewed, top part. It says 1/8 of an inch, so about the width you sewed around along these sides. You're going to do on the top of just that one side, just the one, so that it's not all wonky. So I'm going to do that real quick and then I'll come back and show y'all. Alrighty, so here, this is how it should look on whichever side you choose. This one here, I did an up and down one, and I just sewed it on the top, just like that, so. Okay, now then. Okay. We're going to take our back piece now. So have our, whatever you're using for your back, I'm using this little black with yellow bee looking lines. Flip it over to the back side. I'm going to kind of zoom it in a bit and slide it over. There we go. Okay, now then, you're going to take your, wow, I just forgot what this is called, interfacing. Put it where the bubbly side, so when you feel it, there should be little bumps on one side and it should be soft on the other. The bumpy side, you're going to put it just about, just a little less than 1/2 inch. So it should look about there. That's probably give or take. And then, wow, okay, sorry. Literally just forgot what I was doing. We're going to fold these corners over. And we're not going to do anything with them. We're just going to I'm going to take the end of my scissors and crease it. Because we're not going to iron it. Or the term actually for when you're gluing your interfacing to your fabric, it's called basting it. It's just a method of, like I said, gluing the interfacing to the fabric. But it says, actually this pattern that I'm using actually says use like fabric glue when folding over your corners, but I don't worry about that. So then you're going to fold the top over and do the same. You're going to just kind of crease it. Okay. Yep, that way it just kind of stays flat. Alrighty. Take your tab and your split ring. You're going to thread it through. So pick your cleaner side and thread it through just like that. And fold it over. So it should look like this. Oh, sorry. It should look like this when you're done. And we're going to put this up here. So in the center, center it and just kind of take a clip and just kind of keep it there. So we're not going to sew it in place just yet. Wow. I have to keep looking at my thing. Okay, well we're just gonna wing it because the pattern's not making any sense to me right now. Alrighty. So you're gonna fold it over this side all the way down, and you're gonna make a crease on this side as well. So on this side, I may just like kind of touch it with the tip of the iron if it's still on, so I have to move it over here. So kind of slide you all over a bit. Okay. I'm gonna plug it back in anyways because I need it in a minute. I'm just gonna touch it with the tip of the iron all the way down. So it looks about like a 1/4 of an inch all the way down. So I gotta wait for that iron to heat up. So you're gonna do that on both sides so that it makes a perfect crease on that top edge. So I'm just gonna touch it with the side of the iron. There we go. See, and it sticks in place, so it's not gonna come undone on me. Alrighty, iron this up here, and then do that there. So what happens if your iron touches the interfacing? It will stick to your iron and ruin your iron. So please do not do that. I really don't want someone watching my videos to have that happen to their iron and then blame it on me, because I don't like having people do that. Alrighty, so now then, well, what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of fold it over just a bit. And you will have to adjust it when it comes to this part. So do not iron when you fold it over completely, because it will have to be adjusted. So you're going to just kind of, fold just this edge over about a 1/2 inch. Fold it up to where it meets in the corners. Do not iron it yet. Please do not iron it. You're going to take your top piece, kind of put it over it, just to make sure it's long enough, and which mine is, I can probably pull this back a touch. I'm going to re-iron it, there, and then when I come back up, oh that's hot, when I come back up, fold it up here, and check it. Should be perfect length. Alrighty, there we go. So now then, once you figure out what the perfect length of it, now you can iron it. And you know, I just completely did that wrong. Just kidding. Because I forgot which one I was doing and did not think straight. So yeah, see. Well, thankfully there was no basting on that part, that end, so that's a good thing. Because I forgot I wasn't doing a up and down, and I was doing a side to side. So, oh boy. Alrighty, here we go. So this one will be a little fun now that it's side to side and not the other way around. Alrighty, now then let me look at my pattern. So across the top edge and back on the edge. Okay. I just literally had a brain fart, people. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to think at the same time because the pattern's not making any sense right now to me. And it's probably just user error right now. So whichever side you picked to be your top, make sure this is kind of, so I picked one of the long sides. You're going to sew across the top edge of that, sewing your ring in place so that it doesn't come out whenever you try to do anything. So I'm going to sew across that 1/8 of an inch, same as we have done the whole rest of the project. So I'll bring it over to the sewing machine so y'all can see it. And I think we're done with the iron right now. So we will sew that and then it'll be done. Alrighty, so we're going to take our top piece, I'm going to put it in the machine, and sew 1/8 of an inch all the way across the top, back stitching at both start and end. And if you want your badge holder to hold up longer, without the little ring tab coming out, back stitch over that section so that it doesn't come out, and so you don't have any risk or possibility of it coming out. So now I'm going to take one side of my thing here. Just gonna zoom it out a bit. Okay, so here it is on the top. It's all sewed. We're gonna take this, our front piece of it, whichever side you did the seam on the outer edge, that is going to be your top. So here, this is how mine would look with the top edge here. There's how mine would look. So you're going to just kind of pin it on your 3 corners that you did not make the seam on the top. And then we'll sew 1/8 of an inch. I'm not going to pin mine, but we're going to sew 1/8 of an inch around on these outer edges. So, and then we will be finished. Let's kind of zoom it in again. That way it's a little easier to see. Make sure that caught. No, I didn't even catch. Just kidding. Okay, so I have to fix some mistakes that happened. See, this is what happens if it's too big on one side. Let's see. It didn't catch when I sewed it. So now I have to go back over it, making sure that it catches. So I'm gonna do that again, and then it'll be finished. Alrighty, there we go. That's much better. Okay, so now that we fixed that, it's not perfect, but this one is a difficult project to do, so it's okay if it doesn't turn out right on the first try, because I've done projects where it hasn't turned out on the first try or the second. So it takes practice for sure. See, this one's not perfect, but see, I have this hanging over, and then I have a double line on this side, so you know, it won't always be perfect, but you're learning, so at least that's a good thing. So I'm gonna put this up here. We'll finish the video out. Please don't view the mess in the background. That's my sewing mess. So for y'all. Alrighty, so there is our finished product. I don't have a card to put in it right now, but you can just stick your ID or card or whatever you have in there just like that. Or you can go this way and the top can hang up here, and it could be like a luggage tag type thing. There's multiple different uses for this. But thank you for watching today's video, and stay tuned for next week's video, which we will be making our first aid pouch. This was just kind of a simpler project for me to do because I was very busy this week. So yeah, so thank you everyone for watching this video, and stay tuned for next Friday's video. Bye.